I've got some pitch starting to melt here. I melt it in a fairly large aluminum pan. This pitch lap, the first one here, will be 15 inches in diameter, so you need a fairly good amount of pitch, although this is way more than I'll need for this pitch lap. But I put it in an aluminum pan and heat it up on a gas range slowly, very low heat under it, and you just let it take its time. It'll take about an hour to melt this amount of pitch. And it's important to go slowly. You don't want to bring it up to a boil. If you boil it, that's too thin and too hot, and it doesn't do any good to the pitch. This is all recovered pitch. I reuse the pitch over and over again. Some of my pitch is years old, I'm sure. Whenever I'm done with the pitch lap or it gets too thin, I just freeze it and scrape it off and put it in a pan and reuse it. When a pitch gets old or has been used, it loses a little bit of the solvents that are in it, and I replace that by putting some linseed oil in the pitch. But a small amount. Like this pan, this is several pounds of pitch, and it has maybe a tablespoon of linseed oil added to it, which is should be plenty. Now this pitch is mostly a mix of 55 and 64. My polishing area right now is probably about 66 to 68 degrees, maybe 70 degrees. And I like my pitch to be on the soft side, so I take 64 and mix in a little 55, and the linseed oil that I put in there softens it up a little bit as well. Okay, one of the things to do early is to prep up the pitch lap base. This is a dental plaster base. It's about 1 3/4 inches thick, 15 inches across. So the first thing I have to do, this has been used in the past many times and has a little bit of pitch stuck to it. In order to prep this up to take a new load of pitch, I usually clean it up a bit with mineral spirits. And basically just rub it on with paper towel. There's no point in trying to get it actually to be clean. A little bit of pitch on there already doesn't hurt anything and helps the new pitch adhere to it even so. The same way with turpentine, the mineral spirits are a solvent for pitch, so having some mineral spirits on there actually helps to bond the pitch to the surface of this dental plaster base. Getting ready to pour a pitch lap, I'm working on a 20-inch f4.5 quartz mirror, and I need to make a 15-inch pitch lap to use for rough polishing on this mirror. So I've got the pitch melting. The first thing I'm going to do is to prep up this mirror. Now the technique that I use is to coat this with some vegetable oil, then lay down a layer of aluminum foil, and then I actually pour the pitch right on here to mold it to the exact shape of this mirror, and then plop down a pitch lap substrate on here, which is a 1 3/4 inch thick piece of dental plaster, circle. So the first thing I have to do is prep this up, and I start with vegetable oil, plain old vegetable oil. Throw a little on there. And the only point of the vegetable oil is as a lubricant. In the end, I have to pull the pitch lap off, and this will allow it to slide off the mirror without leaving any scratches on the mirror. So I put the vegetable oil on there and then just use a plain old paper towel to spread it around. Now you don't want it to pool up in the center or anything, you just want enough to wet the mirror with the vegetable oil. And I do this with 2 sheets. And the trick is to get it on there and try to get all the bubbles out. It's not hugely important that you get them all out, but the fewer bubbles there are on the aluminum foil, the closer your pitch lap is going to match the shape of the mirror. So basically you just rub them out. And this second side. Okay, let's start a pour. Okay, I'm going to let that cool down just a little bit. Pitch lap base here. Just gently, I put one end down first and then roll it onto the pitch so we don't get an air bubble in the center. And then just kind of work it just a little bit, put just a little weight on it. And the pitch flows out from under it. And that's going to be good. Okay, this pitch lap has cooled down now. And the first step in getting it off the surface, before I do anything, I take a regular single edge razor blade and score around the edge of the lap base. If you score like this, then the pitch will snap off cleanly, the excess pitch around the outside. And the next step, I've got a little pitch pan there for the scraps to go in. And what I'm going to do is to slide the edge of this lap off the edge of the mirror here. And it slides real easy on top of the vegetable oil there. So I've got an overhang there. And I'm just going to thin this down a little bit. The pitch doesn't stick at all to the aluminum foil, so you can separate the two. And then just grab hold of the surplus pitch there and snap it off. And it comes off in nice big thick chunks. And they go right into the pitch pot. And the final step here is to just pull the whole thing right off the mirror. Now that I have the pitch lap off the mirror, it's still covered with vegetable oil. So I use a plain old paper towel and just a drop or two of regular dish detergent and kind of pick off any specks of pitch that you see that might have gotten on there, but then just water and a little bit of detergent will take the vegetable oil off.